So, hey, my name is Maria, and I go by the Trippy Gypsy. I'm in the process of writing a book about my life, and I'm gonna read a few pages. And if anybody is interested in hearing more, please just let me know. Um, ahead, I want you to know that there is a trigger warning. This is a story of DV and SA and my survival of that. So my abuse started in the womb. Caroline, and that's my mom, the book's going to be called Momster, was born in Hendersonville, North Carolina. She wanted to move to California because she had met my grandmother somehow. And when she got to North Hollywood, Caroline met Anne. Anne was my grandma. Anne had 3 kids, my dad, his older brother, and her baby girl. My dad was single, and his 2 siblings are gay. So Caroline, she dropped the dude who brought her here and set her eyes on my dad. He was a year younger than her. And with a quickness, she became pregnant with me. But first, a little backstory. I worshiped my grandmother. And when my mom got pregnant with me, she said that she was gonna have 7 boys, and if she had a girl, she didn't want nothing to do with it. This was in August. I was born August 8th, 1967. So this is a long story. When she said that she was gonna have the 7 boys, my grandmother, this is before ultrasounds, told her, I hate to tell you, but you're carrying a little girl. And she was like, I don't want her. So my grandmother was born in Romania, Transylvania to be exact. My grandmother comes from a bloodline of gypsy witches. It's in my blood. This will come later on in the story. So the day came. I am a star seed, and so much more. This too will come to light later in my story. It was August 8th, 1967, the summer of love. This is probably the reason I consider myself as a flower child hippie. So I was born at 9 o'clock in the morning. My dad is 13 years older than my aunt, and my aunt is 13 years older than me. And when I was born, my dad came running into the waiting room yelling, she's here. I have a beautiful baby girl. And my daddy then took his sister, who was 13 years old, out for beer, pizza, and cigars. You have to remember it was in 1967 when a newborn was sent home from the hospital. they would just lay them down in the seat. There were no car seats, no safety, no belts, not any of that. My dad wanted to be the best dad that he could be. He loved classical music. He had thousands of really thick records you could only play on the wind-up Victoral. And he started university to study classical music. I was 3 years old. Let me back up for a second. My birth mom walked in to my grandmother's house when I was 3 months old, holding me by my throat, saying, "I'm gonna effing kill this kid." My grandmother jumped up and grabbed me and said, "What on earth can a baby do to make you feel like you want to kill them?" So that was my first abuse, and I trust my grandmother. She told me this story. Anyways, my dad was studying classical music, and he had all these records. And one day when I was 3, he came home with a grand piano, and there was a song playing on the radio. And I climbed up onto the bench and I started just playing the song by ear. Everybody oohed and awed, and they were like, "Oh my God, this kid, what is she? A musical genius, a prodigy." And I very well could have been. But the very next day, Caroline was so hateful and so jealous of the closeness that me and my father have, that she got rid of that piano. That day he came home and the piano was gone. When I was 3 years old, my dad, I just said that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read and tell you guys. So fast forward to 1 year old. Caroline went to my grandmother's house, and when she walked into my grandma's house, Momster, walked in holding me, little tiny Maria, holding me by the throat, saying, "I'm going to kill this kid." That happened when I was 3 months old, actually. My grandmother has never lied to me. Fast forward to 2 years. Gene, my daddy, loved me so much. He wanted to be the best dad in the world. And I know I keep saying that. Then the earthquake came in 1971. It was a bad one. I was 3 or 4 years old by this time, and I knew my own mommy hated me. I didn't understand if I was a bad girl. Did I deserve this? If I was better, would she love me? Anyways, back to 71 earthquake. We were living in North Hollywood, California, and we had a 2-bedroom. My room had a slanted ceiling, and there was a skylight over my bed. Momster came running into my bedroom and threw her body over mine. And I just thought to myself, why is she on top of me like she cares about me? My little mind was so confused. I really wanted a mommy that loved me like other kids' moms. I was starting to break. Caroline had family who I had never met before in my life. and she made us leave and go to Colorado. And we got a 2-bedroom house. I was happy because I still had my daddy. So my daddy got off work, and I knew I'd see him for the whole weekend. We got ready, and my daddy was taking us out for dinner. I picked out my pretty dress. I've always been a girly girl that loves dresses. So we went out to eat. When we got back, Caroline said, "Maria, go get in the bath." So I was getting my PJs and went into the bathroom to get into the bath, but I couldn't turn the knob. So I went to Caroline and told her I couldn't turn the water on. Would she help me? She literally screamed at me, no. I was scared, so I went and asked my daddy if he would please start my bath. He said, yes, of course, baby. So he got my bath running. Caroline got really angry and screamed, what a weak, worthless kid I was. I'm sorry. So she turned off the cold water tap completely and filled the tub with only hot water running. With the tub full, she said, get in. As soon as my feet hit the water, it started burning. At this point, I was crying, pleading, Mommy, it's too hot. She only screamed louder and yelled, get in. Crying, I sat in the boiling water, my skin getting redder by the second. After about 20 minutes or so, she finally decided I could get out from top to bottom. I was chrism red. Before I could dry off while bright red and in pain, she got my daddy's leather belt. And then she started hitting me everywhere. And my dad got pissed. And she hit him in the head with one of those metal candle, like opera things, and she split his head open. And then she called the police and turned it around and said that he had hit her. By this point, I saw my dad bleeding, and I hid in the closet, sucking my thumb, and my family wasn't religious at all. I don't know how I even knew this, but I was sitting in the closet sucking my thumb with my stuffed animals, and I started praying that if God ever made me a mommy, I would love my kids. So that's about all I can handle right now. I'll tell you more if anybody is interested in this or not. Thank you for listening. Bye.